Hello, hello. We are back with the Hellbreaker sequence. Connor, are you actually in front of the laptop right now? Because it froze on his face now. Oh, you are. Okay. I'm just curious. Make sure everybody was here. Awesome. You're muted, by the way. Cool.
Yep, I know.
So let's go ahead and do the zoom out move, and we will see what everybody else has been up to. Even though you guys didn't play quick characters, you are still, here in the session, so you guys will get to do the zoom out moves for your characters. When events move from zoomed in scenes to the bigger picture and actions covering weeks and months become important, each player whose main character wasn't involved picks one of these 5 options. So go ahead and look on the story moves handout for the zooming out move, and you get to choose from these 5 options. So Connor, Josh, and Carly, you get to choose one of these. So the first one, they found a new place in their family, changed their role. They went scavenging in the wasteland, add 1 tech to their family stock. They scouted for information, describe a lead that might give you a new surplus or remove a need and get 1 data. They helped out another family or faction, gain 1 treaty on them. They discovered a new danger, describe it, and say which other family or faction it's threatening. And then you briefly describe what the character got up to, and then move to the family level. Yep, so each of you choose one of those. I can't hear you, Carly's.
My internet was cutting out a bunch, so I basically didn't hear any of that.
Well, that's fine. Just look at the story moves and choose one of the zooming out options for Harhel.
So I think I'm gonna go with scouting for information.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, describe a lead that might give you a new surplus or remove a need.
right. We have a need for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me again what specifically that entails.
Need for leadership. No, you have a surplus of leadership.
Oh, that's a surplus, not a need. Never mind.
Yeah.
Need is rare materials.
Yep.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, that was the one you were focusing on right now, was the loci or the foci or whatever it was.
Yes. Yes.
The rare materials you need for your strange rituals.
Yes. And
yeah, so you want a lead on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
So David's faction has a surplus of rare materials, yes?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
So maybe
I think
are you
with
thinking that, like,
some effort, his items can be retooled.
Yeah.
Or melted down and reforged.
Yeah, change the super technology into magic focuses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because the weird materials needed from super technology happen to be weird materials for magic focus.
I'd like to mention just momentarily that my lifestyle is the Travelers of the Labyrinth, which says the readout's ever-shifting halls can take you to dark places of this world and beyond. So you don't necessarily need the same rare materials that I have, because you could just hang out in my weird crypt for a while and
fun.
I mean, that's true.
I want to provoke conflict between the families here, because right now people are kind of buddy-buddy. There's a, handshaking is going on here.
I mean,
sure.
Yes,
I mean,
the handshaking also armed a bunch of terrorists, but that's fine.
So we've got terrorists who now have a bunch of weaponry. We've got a handshake between a bunch of bunch of sellswords and rich fat people. And
None
then
of
we've
us
got
are fat. We are immaculate.
me coming in to.
We can make ourselves immaculate. We're made out of robots, not robots, but magic.
There's a character in Final Fantasy, and you're reminding me of that character.
Ah, I see. Well, my character is much more attractive. No, actually, he's pretty beat up, but.
Yeah, so basically you want to find their super technology stuff and melt it down into magic foci.
Yes.
All right, sounds good.
Yep. Yes.
So you got that lead so that you can add, 1 tech? No, 1 data.
1 data, correct.
Yep. So go ahead and add that to the New Harmonies stock there. It should be on the family page right now. Except, actually, you can't edit that field. I can't edit that layer. I will do it for you. There you go.
Can you not move that up a layer so I can edit it?
Well, so the issue is that it's not the layer, it's just the fact that I created it and I can't actually, because text is weird. It functions as an object, but you can't edit the object in the same way you would edit another, like a token. You can't give it to other people to be able to control. So,
Okay.
yeah, you just can't ever edit it for some reason.
Oh my.
I know.
No, their console is noisy.
I'd like to mention that
A lot of console.info going on here. Roll 20. You slice out the debug stuff before you hit release. Yes?
I'd like to point out, Josh, that our characters have a backstory together where it says, I sat in council with you before and taught you wisdom, and my character is currently embedded in the
New Harmony.
The New Harmony, probably as kind of like either as like a I don't remember what
Diplomat.
Yes, either a diplomat or like someone who's assisting you, which I don't know. I can't think of words.
Advisor?
But yeah, something like, yeah,
Advisor,
thank you.
Sure. So
One of
there's
those two
there's
things.
no need for us to fight each other. No need for me to open portals and pull demons out of nowhere to
Right.
come
Well-
terrorize your city state if I don't have to,
Yeah, what I mean is it makes sense that in some way you've derived the information that you've gotten now from Beirut. It makes sense that that's how you found that we have this weird thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you've been talking to Barrios. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Connor or Carly, what do you think for your characters? What were they up to?
The only thing I was thinking of is maybe Harahel was helping another faction in that he's just helping Iseret on all of these missions that they're sending around.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you gain 1 treaty on the recollection.
If that makes sense for your character, Connor. If Harahel just kind of tags along with Iseret for a while.
Yes, sorry, I had to jump back on the Zoom stream and
Mm-hmm.
from Roll20 and unmute myself.
Hey, quick question, Carly. Did we ever decide what your commandment is? It is holy to what? What was the...
Oh, I don't know. Let me see if I
Because
have anything
you have that
written down.
divine grace move with the family, right?
Carly, I didn't know you watched Seven Deadly Sins.
What?
Because it's whatever supernal authority you drew on died
Eh.
with the fall. Now it's up to you to find what is holy in this new world and cherish and protect it. Start with 1 grace and 1 commandment. A statement in the format, it is holy to blank. And I feel like we...
I might have that written down somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like we figured that out.
Well, I have divine grace written down as a move, but I don't have anything other
Okay,
than that.
well, we should
Let me
just
get-
decide that now then.
Yeah.
If you had it. What is it? What is your 1 commandment? It is holy to what?
Protect the weak.
Yeah, it is holy to protect the weak. Whenever you help another family perform a commandment, gain 1 grace. I mean, I feel like you've already done that with Iseret, right? So you can add another grace to your... Well, I'll do it for you because it's a field that I can edit, but you have another grace there. And you can use that to spend things in your faction. So you have the move Mandate of Heaven. The presence gives you, or the Holy Father or whatever, gave you tools to enact its will, his will on the world, and even in his absence, the choir is mighty. When you are in dire need, you can spend 1 grace to give a weapon or outfit a tag you need to fulfill a commandment. That's cool. You can just manifest something new about your weapons or armor to help you protect the weak.
Right.
In a moment of need. That's pretty cool. Awesome. So, yeah, you get another treaty on the
Recollection.
recollection, yep. Who else did you have treaty on? Because I had written down, originally it was written down the heralds as the other person, but that's you as the person you had 1 with.
I have it written down.
Yeah, what's the other person you had 1 with? You had Hellbreakers 2, Last Watch 3.
Oh, here we go. I have 2 treaty on Jared.
Only 2?
I think so. Wait.
Okay.
Wait. No, I think I have 3.
Yeah, that's what I have listed.
Yeah. And then I have. I think I have 2 treaty on the Hellbreakers.
Yep.
But I think that's all I have down.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Okie dokie. So that was what Harahel was doing. What about Easterette?
What was Easterette doing?
Yep.
Or
Yeah,
okay.
from those list of options on the.
Oh, from the zooming out thing,
yep.
right? So my question is, what did I do last time for the zooming out thing?
Last time for the zooming out, you went around helping like people in need for the recollection. And you did. It was.
Scout information for information.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
To remove the need of prestige, right?
Yeah, that's right. You didn't remove it, but you were getting a lead on it. You were helping.
Right.
You didn't actually accomplish it yet. But
and I can't further that goal.
You know what? I feel like I'm fine if you wanted to choose that again to just say that you did remove the need.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you just spent time working on it. So now you have 2 data, and you don't have the need of prestige anymore. So you've been working on making a name for the recollection among the people.
Right.
Since
awesome.
Removing needs is kind of like the core of the game, I feel like, because I know that we talked about how it doesn't really matter if people aren't here because you weren't in that scene, so you get something extra, moves aren't that big of a deal. But if we can remove needs with them, I feel like that might sort of change that. That's like the core of the
honestly
loop,
right? Fair.
I feel like maybe, I don't know if there's another one for getting data, but I feel like that has the feel of like you looked into it more. Here's a mechanical bonus to your lead or whatever.
Yeah. So actually, I think that's what we're gonna do right now. So you can get another data there, Connor. So the same thing, and technically we can make a roll here right now with your family to try to erase that need. But yeah, you would have to make a roll. I think that makes sense.
Okay,
that is
that's fine.
Technical rules. Yeah, that's a good point, David. Let's see. Sue, you are trying to. What are you trying to do exactly?
Remove the need for prestige.
Right. I'm trying to think of. The family moves. I'm not seeing something that makes sense in this instance. Right, because the moves are hold together, conduct diplomacy, claim by force, and subterfuge. Those are like the main ones. Yeah, I don't think any of those moves make sense to try to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're meant to be able to get rid of these on the.
Yeah, it might have to be character.
I think that's the idea. I think they want you to have to do it in a scene. Well.
Yeah. So I guess you're just still working on it, and you have data, but you'll have to go into a scene to actually.
Wait, what does finding a surplus do when your family claims or creates a significant resource in the fiction and add it as surplus? I guess that's different. You have to actually create something. And that
well, I mean, that's
too.
like a fiction, right? Like that's just fiction trigger sort of a thing.
Yeah, because there's no roll, so you're right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so Easterette is still working on that.
Well, I would probably just do something else then, because there's no point in
Getting another
getting a
data.
lead
Yeah,
for the same thing.
that's fine.
Well, but you can spend data in the scene for advantage.
Right, but there's no sense in saying I got a lead for the same one.
That's fine. Yep.
Well, I guess that's true. But I suppose it doesn't discriminate what the data is. Because I was gonna say it would make sense if you had 2 data on that you
Yeah,
could
it's just
use
data
it
in general,
twice.
yeah.
But yeah, I guess that technically doesn't matter. So you'd might as well, because you get data when you choose a lead anyways, right?
Yep.
So you might as well pick something else, and then you could still use both data.
Or just
Alright.
do a different move. Yeah.
Right.
different
No, that too. Yeah.
Choice.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm thinking, what would be a good word for taming the Tannerin as a luxury or whatever it is, a surplus.
Oh, right. I think we decided it was like
Dark force.
Yeah, ancient power or something like that, right? Like, let's say ancient power
Okay.
as the. So you're working on getting a surplus for ancient power, which is like bending the Tannerin to your side. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah. What else? What other stuff do people want to do in the family moves here? Since we're zoomed out, what are
we all
other
doing
things?
family moves?
It was anyone who didn't have their main character does the zoom out move, and now we're in the family move, or we're in the zoomed out portion of the game, and so people can make family moves if they want to.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
If there's anything anyone wants to accomplish in the family portion of the game, now would be the time to do it. And probably, we'll want to do something with Recollection, New Harmony, or Heralds first.
I feel like I have. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Makes sense.
Because I know, right, the Recollection was working on that stuff, but we want to actually specifically do the getting rid of a need or surplus. You'll have to zoom in, but there's other stuff that you can do peripherally, right? You can conduct diplomacy, call on your family's allies. You can claim by force when you direct your family to seize or maintain control of a resource. Oh, wait a second. Technically, Connor, you could use the claim by force roll to get a resource.
What does that mean?
So either if you could just pursue either of those leads with claim by force, and I mean this probably makes more sense for the Tannerin. You could have your family rolled to just like try to, when you direct your family to seize or maintain control of a resource, you could literally just have them like send out a bunch of expeditions to try to tame the Tannerin. Like if you think like Easter has done enough research like on her own, like of like how to bind these things to herself, and like you could try rolling that. To keep in mind though, Recollection is not good at grasp, which is the thing you'd be rolling there. I'm just saying that's technically a possible way to do it.
Where are you seeing that like ability?
It's in family moves. Claim by force.
By the way, I think I may have been wrong about spending treaty on player level, because it's only in the family moves that I can find it. So I don't know if you could do that at a scene level.
I think you can.
I don't know. Because like I mean, taking surplus from them is a weird thing to happen in a scene. Gaining +2 on a move makes sense, but it says targets them as like a faction. Family in the text, and then it says get them to back you up following decision or protect something important, which also feels like a larger scale thing. And then if they resist, they're spending treaty or holding together, which is also a family move. So it feels like it's meant to only happen on a family level.
So I think I want to say that we can still do it on a character level, simply because one of the things I've heard from the game is that treaty is a resource that doesn't get spent very often, because like
I think it makes sense.
I think we should just let it happen.
Yeah. Although I don't know if all those options necessarily make, like taking a surplus, I think doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think either of the other two could.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but anyway, sorry, I just wanted to mention that.
Yep. So yeah, what are you thinking, Connor?
The family moves peripheral. What does that mean?
That's just other moves that aren't the main moves for family stuff.
Can I use them though? Can I call in a debt?
Yep.
Okay, Carly, what are yours
Who's the
here?
debt?
Right now you have one. No, that's true. You don't have any treaty on the heralds. They just have one treaty on you.
Oh, they have treaty on me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she saved my life. Duh.
Yeah. But you have treaty on the Perihelions and the Last Watch right now.
What are your guys' surpluses?
The Last Watch has safety and justice.
Okay.
I have leadership and rare materials.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna take leadership.
Ho, 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 ho. So what do? You spend one treaty, and then you choose one. You take a you can just take a surplus from them.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that mechanic is weird because why wouldn't I just immediately spend one?
Player families can resist by spending one treaty on you or holding together if they have none.
I don't have a treaty, but if I did, why wouldn't I just immediately spend it
Yeah.
and do the same?
I think this is
exact
just
thing?
it's a way to by spending one treaty, you're spending one treaty to block. You don't automatically get to do calling it done on them.
Right, but why wouldn't I just not block and then use that move and then steal one from him and steal it back? Like that's such a weird mechanic to me. I don't know. I don't have it, so it doesn't matter. I can't do that. But it just
You don't have the treaty on me?
I don't have any. You have two
Yeah,
on me.
I think the idea would be we can make a house rule and just say it doesn't make any sense in the same session to just like keep doing that over and over again. So I think like it has to be decided on that one move, right? Like how many treaty are either of you going to spend to keep or maintain this, to steal or maintain the resource.
Right. So let me see what hold together does here.
Yeah, you have to roll your mood.
On a hit, you remain most okay. Pick one. You lose people to harm and or desertion. Get need recruits.
On a 10+, the trial brings you together.
Oh, I won't get that, but that's cool.
What's your mood?
-1, I assume, since I have 3 needs and 2.
Yep.
Yeah, and 2 surpluses. Nature hasn't passed, so much has shifted into something more manageable. That feels weird. I guess I just wouldn't pick that one. I mean, I guess I'll just hold. I mean, what happens if I fail to hold together on something like this? What kind of GM moves would be? Or does it just mean that he gets to do it?
I mean, it would mean that, and it would probably mean that a GM move would happen as well. Yeah.
Right, or you could just not resist, and I would take it because there'd be no reason why you wouldn't want to roll against me then.
Right.
Yeah. So there could be something bad if you decide to roll.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the idea.
All right. I mean, I'll try it. I guess. Okay. So let's see.
No, David. No, don't do it. It's okay.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to go into -2 mood. That's for sure. E6 -1.
Oh, well.
4, because I literally can't roll anything without rolling ones, which is how it always goes. But whatever.
No. Okay, so yeah, you would just go ahead and pick one of those things from the list, David.
Oh, yeah.
And then
so
a GM move will
as
happen,
well, right?
and he gets the resource. Yeah.
All right, I lost the list here. Okay.
So yeah, you can go ahead and put leadership on yours, Connor, as a surplus.
I don't know how to do that.
Never mind. I'll just do it.
I think I only pick one of these if I hit, because like one of these is a faction came through to help you, but that's not what's happening. And it only says on a hit you must remain okay. Pick one, and then you pick one.
Ooh,
So
I see.
Don't think I would pick one if I fail.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
You're correct.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to ask that. I was like,
Yep. Okay, so let's see. GM move. I could just be a total jerk here and just give you another need.
That would be so evil.
It would. Let's see. So he's taking leadership from you.
Yeah, how does that work narratively? Like, what is the? I don't understand what's happening here narratively.
That's I
at
think
all.
we need to figure that out. So what exactly are you doing as the recollection Connor to take? Because you're leveraging the influence you have over the perihelions, which came because let's look at your.
I think we use his things
Oh,
to
right, because of
teach
the.
our new people.
Which one of you uses our art in one of your most important rights? It's the memory stuff.
Yeah, and the right
So-
was the like induction of new people to Azimuth because they had to like learn a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So that makes I feel like that's a good in, but I'm still not really sure what that looks like.
I mean, you gave them bad memories or something, right? Like false memories, or
Right.
like sabotaged it in some way, Connor, right?
And
What do you think?
I guess that would. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Say that again.
We're discussing kind of like how you took leadership from him
Right.
and got it yourself.
Right.
And the reason you have treaty over him in the first place is because they use your memory stuff in their like induction ceremonies.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you think about, like, you probably sabotage their memories or something? But yeah, just what do you think about like how exactly that went down narratively?
Well, my first thought was, whose city am I in?
Remember you're in Nadir, so you're right next to them. Yeah,
Right. Well,
the perihelions. Yeah,
the perihelions is David's, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right there.
But the recollection is in their city, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is the stories of this little girl and like the like legend of her like gains so much momentum that the city itself kind of like joins the cult of the recollection.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so like
you gain a lot more influence in Nadir.
Right.
And then
And so I steal leadership from them because right now they look weak.
And then
because
they probably lose. That's probably why you get leadership, but they probably lose leadership because you sabotage them with memory stuff.
And actually, that kind of makes sense because the leadership thing I picked was that my direct descendants are the people in Nadir that are perihelion, and they're trying to become demigods in Azimuth. So if they didn't care about that, I wouldn't have as much control over them.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense, honestly, without having. I think he could do that without having fake memories. I think just if the memories he was putting in made them more interested in going to
this new
the recollection. Yeah,
that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, so that's happening in the background with the recollection slowly gaining. I mean, the recollection seems to be doing a lot of building of forces here. They're going to be kind of a force to be reckoned with, because not only are they trying to get demon power, but they are slowly sabotaging the other factions. So, and that's the thing. I think they're like the least paid attention to of the factions, given like just their focus on art. Yeah. So that's interesting. Cool. Yeah. Does anyone have Josh or Carly? You have a family move you want to try to do?
Can we go back to the family page, please?
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at resources I have. Still 0 tech. Okay.
So you could always roll claim by force if you wanted to like just grab a resource at any point.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally right now.
Because my grasp is so good right now.
Well, I mean, all of your stats are just 0, so.
Yeah.
Right now you have slight with advantage though.
Oh yeah, advantage.
So you could do some subterfuge stuff if you wanted to.
That's actually not a bad idea.
You can make a resource appear more or less desirable, cause a scandal, hide your own involvement in an action, sabotage an asset. Those are fun.
I want to cause a scandal in the recollection.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll slight when your family infiltrates other factions. I mean, they've been trying to like do Tanner and stuff, so like that's a perfect in for you guys to kind of sneak in. So yeah, roll slight with advantage. I'm
Let me just double
positive
check here.
that there's a macro
So-
that we can use here to actually just do it like roll, like drop the lowest or drop the highest or whatever.
Well, let's see. Advanced dice roller. What do we got?
Roll 20.
Additional settings. We can separate, compound, or no, we can explode it. Target number less than. It doesn't. I don't see anything specifically in the advanced dice roller, so
Let me look.
there's no help.
Here we go.
In the meantime,
let's see.
it's not a Turing complete language. I know that much.
Interesting. Here we go. I'm finding stuff. Drop or keep. Okay, so let's see. Drop or keep.
Oh, okay. So D3. So this roll should be 3d6 D1.
I think so.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Hey, look at that.
And then if
Hey.
we were doing advantage, it would be K2 because it would be keep 2.
Keep 2 instead of drop 1.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's for reference.
Okay.
That's how we can do advantage and disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah. So 9. Let's see.
So
On a hit, you choose one thing your agents achieve, and on a 7 and 9, the GM names a clue you leave behind, or a family or faction that sees through your deception.
All right.
Ooh.
So first,
Um,
you're going to choose a scandal, I guess.
Yes, cause a scandal within the family
What
or
is the
factions
scandal?
organization. I think the scandal is that New Harmony artifacts have been found in Iseret's possession,
Ooh.
indicating, with a possible indication of Iseret being a New Harmony agent.
Right. So maybe she's been just like playing everybody the whole time with this Tannerin thing, because everybody knows the New Harmony's into Tannerin stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody knows the New Harmony's into dark forces, and Tannerin seem like dark forces.
Yeah.
Keep in mind though that she does have a Forgotten Herald with her.
I
could
mean
be
that
interesting.
might even make it more of a scandal.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
If Forgotten Herald's literally just wandering around with her for some reason.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why is the herald with you? Are they watching over your shoulder the whole time? Are they really a herald? How do we know they're a real herald and not
Yeah.
just someone pretending?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a guy in a costume.
It's a gnome.
Yeah, right. It's 3 gnomes stacked on
It's
top of
a
one another.
Three
a
hobbits
tinker
and
gnome. It's a tinker
three-
gnome and a robot.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah.
No way. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, you have leadership right now, Connor. Right? You have the your faction is working well together, but you still have the need of prestige, right? Like that hasn't
Right.
been taken away, and so like that's adding to that whole thing, right? Like the people themselves, even though they're very curious, they're still like pariah. That the recollection has. Yeah. So you're still not out of the clear on terms in that. So the next time we pick up with Iseret, she'll probably have to do. We'll have to zoom in with her and see how she actually handles those rumors, and tries to actually erase prestige as a need.
Right.
And so the clue you leave behind, or the faction that sees through the deception. I mean, I'm gonna say the faction that sees through the deception obviously is the Forgotten Heralds, right? They know that Iseret isn't actually
that
working
makes
with the New
sense.
Harmony.
Right.
That's not a New Harmony artifact. That's a clock.
Yeah, exactly. So the Forgotten Heralds are they know that Iseret is not actually working with the New Harmony. They may definitely still be wary about using Tannerin, but they know at the very least that Iseret is not working with the New Harmony, and so they could, even though the heralds are pariahs themselves, so like their word isn't necessarily going to carry that much weight, but together, Harahel and Iseret could probably put these rumors to rest next time we zoom in on them. So cool. Yeah, I love how Iseret just behind the scenes has just become like this cult icon.
Right.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Any other family moves you wanted to do?
And just anybody?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can do another one?
Sure.
I'll keep doing family moves here.
Yeah, go ahead. This will kind of shift the social terrain around for the next session, and we'll have some interesting threads to follow. Right, so you can conduct diplomacy, claim by force, subterfuge, uncover secrets, call in a debt. Yeah, so I think it's known in some way, though, David, that the recollection has been sabotaging you, like, willingly. Right?
I mean, yeah, I imagine that would be,
because that wasn't a subterfuge roll. That was just a treaty thing. So
right, yeah. I did have a question. I feel like I have to, in some way, facilitate, or maybe Jared does, I guess, kind of both of us, the arming of your faction, right?
The Hellbreakers,
so my question is, as a result of our scene, do you just gain the tag like defenses or whatever, or weapons or whatever you need, or do we actually have to make a move? I feel like that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I feel like the way that the game seems to work is that the narrative defines things, and we've assumed that you now have those things.
Sure, yeah. I'll add. What was it? Well, is it defenses or weaponry?
I mean, I think that either would make well.
Yeah, let's say weaponry.
Yeah. Although I guess the idea was to be like a militia, right? To be able to defend the...
Right, but I think the idea is they didn't really have... Because that's the thing, right? They have been... The Hellbreakers have been working off of the makeshift industrial technology that you guys left behind, right?
Right, yeah.
And so this is like, they have access to some like actual like good weapons that aren't makeshift right now.
Right, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
I assume I thought part of the thing was that we'd like train them up first before giving them the weapons, not just arming them and saying, here you go.
That makes sense. Let's take a look and see if there's like a family move that like could be done there.
I mean, I was looking at lend aid, but that's temporary.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't really make sense. But that's why I was kind of wondering if maybe it was defenses and not weapons, because it was really more about creating a functional militia than just giving you guns, you know? So that's why I was wondering, and it was also to defend the city, technically.
Yeah,
so that's
sure.
why I
let's
was
say
wondering
defenses then. That makes sense as like an immediate thing that they would get.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I think as a faction that doesn't have weapons as a tag or for a surplus, it would be weird for me to give you weapons as a tag for surplus, because I don't know where I would get them and how to, like, I'd be giving you weapons better than I have and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be a little strange narratively.
You know what actually might make sense here is I think that...
Or is troops an option or whatever? Like soldiers? I can't remember.
Well, recruits is something, but like they already have that as a surplus.
That's true. Yeah, they don't need that. Oh, well, yeah. I guess they definitely don't need that.
Yeah.
Caleb?
Holy cow.
Can you add a 2 next to the 3 my faith row, please? For my enlightened madness.
What?
I dropped a 2 from my 3d6 roll earlier. Thank you.
Oh, so that's a good thing, right?
It's a good thing for him, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, because like basically madness. I get a
he gets an infused.
Considered infused with the quality. Set all infused dice to 6. So if I get dropped 1, I get 1 free 6 in a roll.
I assume that has some kind of downside to it, right?
The
Being
downside
madness.
is that the downside is that it clears the row, right?
Yeah.
Clears.
Josh, what is your faction's name again?
We are the New Harmony.
New Harmony. I don't have the New Harmony on my list of.
Yeah, I don't think you have any treaty against them.
Okay. Or he doesn't have any on me either.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me with the Forgotten Heralds. I
Yeah,
didn't.
what,
I mean,
what
I wrote them down, but I didn't have
determines
any
the treaty
interaction.
that we have?
It
That was
the
for all the backstory
backstory
stuff that we had at the beginning.
I didn't keep track of any of that.
I did.
Oh,
I put it
no.
on your sheet.
Oh,
Okay.
It's on your sheet. You have 1 on the Perihelions, 4 on the Hellbreakers, and the Forgotten Heralds have 2 on you.
Like, remember the reason that you had 2 on me was because of the like group of people who were already protecting me, and that was how we knew that you.
It says the Forgotten Heralds has 3 on me though.
Where are you looking at?
On theirs?
Oh.
Okay, a lot of these don't add up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all of them, and most of them don't add up.
Don't
to
match,
what other
yeah.
people have.
Well, so you had 2 on me originally and spent 1 during the game, so that
Yeah,
would
No,
be
I'm
mine,
not talking about
probably.
mine. I'm talking about
Forgotten
everyone's.
Heralds. Let's see.
Oh,
They
okay.
give you 2 treaty. It should be just 2. Let me double check the Forgotten or the Heralds.
I know I
I
put
have
it
it
down
down
my
that I
own.
have 3 on him.
Oh yeah, it's exchange 1 treaty with each other.
Right.
So it should be 3. Yep.
Okay.
That's the correct answer. So I'll put 3 on there for you.
Did I only have backstory with 2 people?
You had
The 3
backstory
people?
on Hellbreakers, Forgotten Heralds, and Perihelions. Yep.
Oh.
I know you. Well, wait a second. New Harmony.
Because I thought I killed.
Hostile. Oh yeah, no,
I
you
thought I
should.
killed people for
You should have
some
had stuff for the
people.
last watch. Let's see. Take 2 treaty on them. So the New Harmony has 2 treaty on you.
Mm-hmm.
That is a true thing.
Okay.
So I'll list that there. And then it's just the recollection that's left, and give you 2. And the recollection has 2 treaty on you as well.
How did everyone get treaty on me and I not get a treaty on anyone? What happened?
I mean, you got 4 on the Hellbreakers. You focused on the Hellbreakers a lot.
Yeah, screw you, Connor.
Well, that's actually one thing I was thinking about right now is maybe I.
Oh, Caleb was the Hellbreakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the.
I'm the Hellbreakers.
Yeah.
Connor's the recollection.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like I could maybe make a move for the Hellbreakers here at some point too. One thing I was thinking of doing at some point here, in addition to the mini sessions that we might do, is doing like a solo session where I just play the Hellbreakers and do a thing.
That makes sense, since they probably won't get a whole lot of screen time.
Exactly,
Since you're like GMing.
So I might do that.
Or you could even just, especially for my character, you could find opportunities to put your guys in.
Yeah, that's true. Into the mini sessions. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even proper sessions, depending on the circumstance.
Yeah. And I will figure out ways to do that, but we've been kind of like feeling out the beginning of this.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Hey, Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Other people's don't match up with other people's as well.
Yeah.
Like the Perihelions and the Hellbreakers don't match up even at all.
I will go through after this session and fix all of that.
I have all mine written down in case you need a reference.
Yeah, I'll fix them all.
I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any other last family moves people want to do?
I want to nuke Connor.
I mean, you could claim by force. You could just attack him.
Just don't use too many nukes, because then the game ends. And
Oh, I thought I couldn't since I had a
You're not Gandhi.
person in the thing, in the zoom in.
What do you mean?
No, you can do.
Yeah.
No, so they did a couple like bonus moves that are the like zoom out moves, but we stopped doing those a while ago. These are just normal zoom out scale moves, so you can do one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you wanted the last watch to do some sort of like raid or something, right? You could have them do that if you wanted to,
Okay.
and like try to gain a resource or something.
That's fine. We can move on.
Is there a way to get bonuses to dice rolls at this level? Like do
Yeah, you can spend
no
tech.
data, right?
You can spend
tech,
tech
yeah.
and data to. You
Now-
can spend tech to give advantage to a roll, and you can spend
Data to get a +1. Is that how that works? No, I thought data did advantage too.
You know what? I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can spend data on the family.
Maybe that's how it is. Maybe
Yeah,
like...
that's what it is. Yeah, you can use tech to roll advantage, because I was actually just looking at a move of Jared's, and he actually has a special move that he can use the family move on the character and the character move on the family.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, interesting.
Glasses.
Do your surpluses do anything? Like if you had a surplus weapons and you tried to seize by force, would it do anything?
What do you mean?
Roll. Like, would you get a +1 or whatever from your surplus that has weapons?
Yeah. I mean,
What is-
so there's a move called Right Tool for the Job. When your family uses their resources to confront a crisis, erase an appropriate surplus, and mitigate or resolve the problem. So technically, you could just say,
okay,
if there's like a problem, it would be like more like a problem that you have, not necessarily a thing you want to achieve.
right.
But you could, technically like erase weaponry as a surplus, and then just say, I'm just gonna attack this person or
What
defend.
does power up mean, Caleb?
Power up.
Power up
is you use a point of tech to give a roll advantage.
A roll advantage when?
On a roll.
move.
Just on a move.
Just any roll?
Yeah.
I assume it's a family roll, right? Any family roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he can do it in character or family.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you have a special move.
Okay.
You're special.
And what is information is power?
Information is power is basically the same thing except with data and for a character.
How do you get those things?
Through various means. A lot of the moves, like the ones that we did with Connor, Josh, and Carly when we zoomed out, give you data or tech. When you find a device in the character part of the game, some sort of like weird technological thing, and then you bring it back to your family, you get a point of tech.
Wait, shouldn't that have given a point of tech to the... Well, I guess I didn't bring it back to my family, but I got a weird thing. The Tanner and powers as a side character, right? So wouldn't that family get?
Yeah. The
tech?
recollection should get a point of tech. Yeah, you're right. That's a fair point. Yeah, because it's a device. Yeah.
Yeah, technically, mechanically, I mean.
Yep.
So at this point, we can do family moves and story moves?
No, so you do family moves, and because you can also do one of the character moves.
You can also do information is power if you wanted to spend it.
Yeah.
But you don't have data or tech, so that doesn't matter for you right now.
For masked, or my mask is my face, I can get it says whenever another family or faction gets a 6- on a roll against your family, gain lasting advantage on any slight rolls against them until you spring your vengeance or until the age turns, whichever comes first.
Yep.
So for David, since he got a failed roll on
that
me,
was oh yeah, you're right. Yep.
it's a 6 or below.
Does
So
that count as against him, even though he
Yep.
was? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yep. Gain lasting advantage on any slight rolls against them until you spring your vengeance or until the age turns.
Right.
Yeah. So if you wanted to roll a slight roll right now against them, you could, and then get advantage on it.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. You could make a resource appear more or less desirable to them, create a scandal, hide your own involvement. You could try to hide your involvement in the action with the leadership thing, the switch. Or you could sabotage an asset.
So
Yeah,
what would that do functionally to hide my involvement in?
Basically, it would be like perihelions don't actually know at that point then that you are responsible for their leadership being taken away. Yeah. So right now, the perihelions are like, yes, we know the recollection is doing this to us, like intentionally, sort of a thing. But you could do subterfuge to like say, nope, you don't know anything.
What to make a resource appear more or less desirable? What would that do functionally?
Just like narratively.
It's narratively, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It would be like, you just choose a surplus, or you choose some sort of resource that could be a surplus or a need, and then make it more or less desirable to the faction. Just
That'd be really cool to
for leadership.
instill. Well, no, I'd say it'd be really cool to instill the desire for people to look into the Tannerin.
Ooh, the desire for ancient power.
Yeah.
Try to get everybody hooked on Tannerin magic.
That's right.
Wait, but wouldn't that be better for the New Harmony than for the Recollection? Doesn't the Recollection want you to get hooked on memory drugs?
Oh, that's true. You could also do that, like drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the what were they called? The I can't remember what we called them. The
Scripts.
yeah, scripts. Yeah.
Functionally, what would an asset be? They sabotage an asset. making it
That's the items
that's the gear
that you get.
Yeah. So you could sabotage.
So you could
the
like
solar
sabotage.
chariots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I assume just happens like the next time I use them, right?
Yeah. Basically, it says making it fail at the worst moment.
Right. Which I assume doesn't mean like every time I ever use one
No,
it
it would
fails.
just
It's
be
just
like-
the next time.
Yeah. Because I assume then you would try to fix it after that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So those are all options.
So the issue is, if I do this, I have lasting advantage. So that means if I get a 7 to 9, I succeed at 10 plus, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
But no.
The issue is,
Advantage
no, no.
means that you roll 3 dice and you take the 2 highest.
Yeah.
oh, right.
Sorry,
Okay,
that's
duh.
what that means.
I
was confused. as
The
what you
issue
asked.
is, if I get a 7 to 9, it doesn't even matter. Because if I'm trying to hide my own involvement in an action, I'm also going to leave behind a clue if I get a 7 to 9.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it would be even more obvious to the Perihelians at that point. Or
but
I
I
could
think-
choose another faction to.
I was gonna say it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be me that he reveals
Yeah.
it to.
So somebody else knows that I'm screwing with you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
This
And
would
I
be a
assume it-
complicated web we will spin.
At that point I wouldn't know because you would have succeeded at the move, right? I think is how that works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Do
I'm
it.
trying to hide that just because I want to remain neutral.
Right, you want to play a bunch of different sides here. Okay, so minus,
is
so it's a
just a
7.
Which is
So-
just what we were just talking about.
Yep. This is stupid.
So I think the new harmony gets plugged onto what you're doing. The recollection.
Okay.
So yeah, the new harmony. You're very aware at this point of the fact that the recollection is trying to set up a name for themselves, start a new Tannerin cult that to rival yours, basically, and is sabotaging the Perihelians to do so.
A new Tannerin
Is
cult, eh?
there something I can
Back off. They're mine.
is there
Or
something
rather, we are theirs. You
I...
don't touch our masters. I'll just
Yeah.
What were you
open
saying,
the
Dave?
ground and swallow you up.
This
See if I won't.
Is there something I can do to represent the fact that I have a character that's in the new
The new harmony.
New Harmony's like circle or whatever? Is there any way for me to interact with that on a character level? Or can
on
I
a
hinder
family level?
moves? Is there a way to do that?
I think so.
Because I feel like I should do that if I can.
Yeah, let's double check.
Or like, can I spend data to give him a net -1 or something like that? Because that's the kind of thing
It
that
doesn't look like it in the family moves. There isn't anything like that.
that's weird. Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't actually think there is a lot of like mess with people moves, except for the treaty thing. Yeah, there is not a move for the families to like block a move like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you wanted to make a move here, David, and do like subterfuge or uncover secrets in the new harmony, right? Ultimately as Baruz, but mostly as the family and as a whole, right? You could roll either of those to learn some things about what's happening.
Right. Okay. How does that
So you
work?
could you could do subterfuge, right? Roll sleight. And well, actually, that might not. Yeah, you might not actually. You want to do uncover secrets. So you roll
Okay.
plus data spent, and you can ask some questions.
Oh, okay. And I have 2 data right now, right?
Yep.
Okay. And what is the? I guess I could just look at the move.
How do I
So
get
the family.
surplus? How do I remove need? What's the truth behind blank? How can we make best of use of blank? So you could say, what's the truth behind the recollection stuff, right? Like, that's definitely an
Right.
option you can do.
Um,
On a 10+, you can ask a second question or add to the map one of those options below.
okay. Interesting. Okay. Sure, yeah, why not? Oh, it's on a hit ask 1. That's okay. So I guess I'll just spend 1 data.
I will erase that from your sheet.
Let's see if I can get more than
A 4.
couple ones. I got
There
a
you
9.
go.
I almost got a 10. I should have spent that the second data.
So just ask one of those questions.
Um.
And for each answer, add an appropriate detail to the map.
Okay. I mean, I want to just ask what's the truth behind the thing that we just talked about, but I feel like that's kind of lame because I'm just immediately undoing the roll that just happened. Which is what I'd like to do, but I feel like it's happening too quickly. I wonder if there's like a more roundabout way I could get there.
You could ask, like, how can I make use of the new cult that's forming?
Yeah, it's true. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, so how can you use the mimetic virus that spreads insanity and devotion? Which is basically what the cult with Easter Ed is, even though, so that kind of folds in nicely.
Yeah.
I don't know, Connor. What do you think? What's a way that the Perihelions could use the cult for their own benefit? What's like a weakness or something that they could exploit?
Who are
Now,
the Perihelions, correct?
David's the
Yeah.
Perihelions, yeah.
What does the answer to this question do exactly for me?
Gives you narrative stuff to work with, and you can add a detail to the map related to it.
All right.
So we could literally, like, for example, you could say, like, there's this, because of the popularity of the cult, the actual place where the recollection lives is now revealed, right? Like, you know about it. So that's the thing, right?
Right.
And you can put that on the map.
That makes sense. Although I feel like I would already know that because my character had infiltrated them previously. But
that is true. Yes, maybe some secret about them or something.
So what's the question again? I'm supposed to answer?
The question is, how can the Perihelions and David use this new cult that's spreading? Like, what's a weakness they could exploit? What's some aspect of it that they could take to their advantage?
I mean, probably the naivety of the kid, right? Like, just try to convince her that the recollection. The recollection is like not for her own good, and that they're like just using her or something like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea that the information I get is that the person that everyone's obsessed with is what, like 12, 10, 12, something
11,
like that?
I think.
Yeah.
11. The one I didn't say in between the 2 I did say. Of course. And yeah, that obviously somebody that young would be impressionable usually.
Yeah.
Especially because a whole bunch of my people are now like going there apparently, so they could influence her hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
cool.
Beirut. I want to have that conversation between Beirut and Iseret, where he's trying to convince her, like, these people don't care about you. Like, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, unless somebody has another last second move they wanted to do, it seems like a good place.
So family moves.
Yeah.
So finding a surplus is one. If there's a
Yes.
narrative reason.
So, yeah, basically it's like if there's a narrative reason in the fiction that we've established already that
Okay.
would make a surplus, then we'd add it.
And what are all the surpluses that?
I mean, there's a list of them in the book, but it's also just kind of anything. It can be anything.
Okay. So from the interaction with David, would recruits be a reasonable surplus?
Yeah.
Of the.
Yeah, I think so. That could be a side benefit to what you're.
Didn't you already get a surplus from that previous action?
He's not getting it. He's
I
finding it
think
on the
You're,
map.
basically, what he's saying is, because of the fiction we've established, when your family claims or creates a significant resource in the fiction, add it to surplus. So he's arguing that because of the way this has been set up, that some of the Hellbreakers would be, joining him as recruits. But I think there might have to be a role there. Jared, more I'm thinking about it.
That's my only call here is
Yeah.
that we don't.
Mhm.
We're kind of doing surpluses willy-nilly, and I think there's maybe a little more of a structured way we can do this.
Yeah. Most
Well,
of the
they
Right,
time,
we
are
look
meant
at the
to
fiction
come-
and we say that
yeah.
okay, the surpluses you gained or the need you removed was the defenses, or I don't remember the specific
Yeah, it
need that you
was-
removed this session,
Yeah.
Jared. But I know David's. Did the fiction happened and now we step back out? The family move he's
Yeah.
taking is to remove the need.
So I think
Because of
I don't think you
fiction,
can
right?
just add it. I think you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to.
I figured there'd
probably-
be a role involved.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might even make sense to have it be like you're answering the question, there are recruits at this place, and then the move is go there and get them to join you, right? Like,
You know what? An easy way you could do this, Jared. You could spend a treaty on one of the many that you have on the Hellbreakers, and you could take a
Oh,
surplus
right.
from them.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could
yeah.
take their recruits
because they
from
have
them.
recruits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
perfect.
they do?
They have recruits
Oh.
as a surplus. You could spend a treaty to take it from them.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
I'll do that.
Okay. Let me double check to see if the Hellbreakers have any treaty on you, because they might.
They have
try to
5.
assist.
Oh
They
gosh.
have 5 on you.
I think
Drain
so.
both sides resources here for
Well,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't
let's
know.
see.
But the thing is, oh wait, no.
Oh yeah, you're right. They have.
Yeah, they have 5 on me
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
the question is, would they want to resist
because
that?
I'm offering them a better life.
But I guess this is
Right,
the
but
family resisting and not
exactly.
the people.
It's
Yeah, that's
basically
true.
what's happening is a bunch of the people who are in the Hellbreakers right now, they aren't
Mhm.
continuing with the Hellbreakers. They're joining the Last Watch instead.
Yeah, and so those
Right.
people, the people in charge would be like, hey, don't do that. And that's what the
Exactly.
role is.
So,
spending
how
treaty or
how
whatever.
many treaty would you be willing to spend before you would back off?
Now, is that a thing? Can you just keep spending? Or is it literally just a 1-to-1 and if you spend it, then it doesn't happen? Because I feel like that would drain treaties super fast.
Yeah,
If
that's
it was just
fair.
literally a spend to 1 and then the other person gets it, right? Like, I mean, actually it wouldn't, because you wouldn't do that. It would be dumb because you'd both waste all of your treaty. But
Mhm.
it would be a weird
yeah,
place
I
to
think
be
it
where if
just
you're
said.
bidding.
I think it's I don't think it's bidding. Yeah, you're right. I think they will spend 1 treaty on you to resist that though, because they have plenty to spare. So
So they
I
were
just wanna
gonna
go with
join
the
you.
role, then.
And then they convinced him not to.
what?
I just want to go with the role. Then.
That's fine. I mean, the thing is, you kind of already did it. So like, you lose 1 treaty. But yeah, now you can make that roll. Yeah.
Okay.
What was the role he's gonna make?
Trying. Well, we have to figure that out, I guess. He's trying to
That-
like recruit them. I'm.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I think
Conduct
that's something
diplomacy.
you would do in a scene, right?
I mean, let's
Or
do
I guess
this.
not.
He can roll conduct diplomacy, and then this will. I mean, I guess the idea would be a meeting with one of their VIPs, and then depending on how well he does this roll, we can start next session or whatever, right? With that
Right.
meeting.
Well, no, that's fine. Someone else can do something first. Like, I don't want
I
to
mean,
take up. the
it
whole
doesn't
time.
like we could just make this roll, and then we can
Okay.
whenever we zoom in next with the next session, we can just go into that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can roll plus reach to try to conduct diplomacy with the Hellbreakers.
Okay, I definitely don't know if I want to do that. Like -1. Yeah, I'm just still trying to
That's fine.
figure out.
Again, you could
Oh,
claim by
shit.
force. You could
That seems sort of opposite of what he wants to do, though.
direct your family to seize or maintain control of a resource.
You know
I mean,
what?
now that
No,
we've
I
given
wanna-
them
I wanna
guns, let's
lend
shoot them.
Aid to them.
What do you say?
I want to lend aid to them.
Okay.
You
What do you?
temporary advantage. I don't really know.
Temporary
What that
advantage.
Are they
Well, that's the thing.
doing?
I could have them make a roll here. What do you like? What would they? What be make a sense? What would be a thing in the narrative that would make sense for them to be doing that you would help them with?
Training them, like which was previously established.
Right.
I think that's the reason that they got the defense. Well, I guess
Right.
altogether was the reason they got the defenses
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah, there could be.
to be fair, that was kind of, I guess, like I don't know. I think being a surplus makes sense. That it would be
Okay.
together. You and I created defenses for them, basically. But you could
Yeah.
give them you could station people there, and then if they had to make any kind of like if they make a roll to seize something by force, which seems a little a right away kind of thing, but if they try to seize something by force with any weapons, then
Yeah, Jared, if you just want to
could
say
help,
like
right?
I am helping the Hellbreakers right now, you can just roll this, and then I can do a solo session, and then they'll get fleeting advantage on whatever I have them do next, right?
Okay.
That's something we can do. Yeah, so roll plus your treaty with them. So plus what, 3?
Or 3.
Yeah.
If we're still going through with everything I've said so far.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to change that then for me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I will most definitely forget.
Yeah, 2d6 plus.
Dang, I'm on fire today.
Nice, yeah. Okay, yeah. So on a hit, you give that family fleeting advantage, and you are not exposed to any danger. Awesome. Yeah. So you're helping the Hellbreakers behind the scenes as they do their warring against slavery. Cool. Yeah, I think between this session and next session, I'll definitely do a thing with the Hellbreakers, and kind of see what they've been up to during this time. Now that we've seen every other family and what they've been up to, so awesome. Anything else?
I mean, I think the only faction that hasn't made like a normal move, as far as I know, is the Forgotten Heralds, right?
Made one.
You did the
You made
zooming out move.
The zoom out move, but I mean like a
Right.
normal family move. So before anybody else does anything, I think we should see if you want to do anything, because
Yeah.
it wouldn't be
I
fair
honestly
if
have
we lapped
no
you
idea
in moves.
what I want to do, so.
Well, if you don't know what you want to do, needs and surpluses are where you look, because that's the core mechanic of the game. So you want to get rid of needs and get surpluses.
Mhm.
So what are your needs right now?
Her needs are prestige, safety, and luxury, and her surpluses are justice and leadership.
So like, I mean, one of the things you could do is go like try and set up something for prestige now that you're associated with this rising
that's true.
cult girl. Or you could try and find safety. You know, that's a big deal. Obviously, that's probably actually the most pressing one.
Yeah, I mean,
just from a
Carly,
That's one
you
of the
could.
things that I already was trying to get a lead on.
Yeah, and you have
Right.
what do you have 2 data on it? You don't have any, but you don't have ability to. You have to do that in character stuff. To spend any data. But you could roll claim by force if you wanted to, Carl's. To basically seize or maintain control of a resource, and it could be safety. Like this literally could just be the heralds are fighting against the Tannerin, right? Like, and they're
Yeah.
trying to gain more of a foothold.
Could she also look around for somewhere that is safe as well? Like do like a search in some way to add safety to the map that she could go find later?
Yeah, you could do
in
uncover
character?
secrets.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, those
So
are
if you don't
both
want to be
options.
aggressive about it,
And
you could also
technically,
do
you can
that.
spend data on that, on uncover secrets. So you can spend your data that way if you wanted to. So right, you could just have them fight some Tannerin or whatever, or claim by force, try to get the resource of safety just by like force. Or you could roll plus data spent to uncover some secrets about like, but I mean, part of this is kind of already what you were doing, but this would basically add an actual detail on the map. So basically, this would be like, we know of an actual place on the map that we could be safe, sort of a thing. Those are your kind of
Yeah,
two.
that's true. I guess seized by force doesn't make sense because she technically has a lead already, right?
Well, claim by force does make sense because when you direct your family to seize or maintain control of a resource.
No, I think that makes more sense
then uncover
to
secrets.
search because I guess technically she's already uncovered it via her lead, right? Kind of.
Well, I haven't actually uncovered like a specific place.
Yeah.
No,
wait,
but I mean, like,
did you do a lead on safety specifically? Is that what you did?
What did I write down? I just wrote down could pursue lead on getting safety removed as a need.
Yeah,
like
I don't
know
think
if I
you've done
did
it yet.
anything.
Yeah. Yes, you could roll uncover secrets.
Okay.
And then you could roll seize by force and probably have.
What's your faction's grasp?
Their
I
grasp
wonder
is
if seized
0.
by force is even how they would go about it if they had another option. You know what I mean? I mean, it would have to be in character if it was anything but seized by force. But I'm just saying that
the grasp
maybe
is,
that would be
+0.
Okay, so it's not like they're not good at it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think that they would try to still like look for a specific place, or just do a general kind of like let's try to make ourselves safer?
Probably just
Basically,
general.
do they kill people or do they look for a place that's safe? Turns out it's safer if all your enemies are dead, but also you could just find a place they can't get to.
I don't know. I guess a place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So you have 2 data to
be...
spend. How many of those do you want to spend on this roll? It'll give you a bonus for each data you spend.
One.
Just 1. Yep. So 2d6 plus 1. Whoa, nice. The highest you possibly could have gotten.
Nice.
All right, so you can ask. So the way this works, on a hit, ask one of those 4 questions. This is in family moves, uncover secrets. You can ask one of those questions, and then because you got a 10+, you can ask a second question from that list or add something to the map. I mean, one of the things you can add to the map is a place to shelter from harm. So, you know.
So I can ask one of those questions and add a place to the map?
Add a place to the shelter from harm, yeah.
Okay.
Should I have added a spot to the map for my roll, by the way?
Which one?
The last one I did to what was it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was basically like you could exploit the girl. I don't know if there is a thing to add to the map for that.
Well, I mean, could I add like her location or something like that, or even maybe like
that makes sense.
The place that I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
just something for frame the scene around.
Yeah, I guess you decide that, David. You're the one who's adding to the map.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know where she'd be necessarily. Connor, do you have any idea where she'd be?
Where who would be?
Where Iseret would be?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, probably the city she was in before, so that's
Nadir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure. So.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. So just in Nadir. Okay.
I'm gonna ask, how can we best make use of Iseret's fame?
Ooh, good question.
How can you guys best make use of Iseret's fame?
Like mainly in a way of like figuring out how to like deal with Tannerin, but also like how socially does that give us any way to like?
It really So the answer to the question is it really depends on how much the Forgotten Heralds are willing to compromise. Because if they wanted to get prestige, right? Because they have a problem, they need prestige. If they wanted to get prestige, you could very easily just saddle yourselves to the Recollection, join them as their ally, and then use the Tannerin, right, to become popular again, to like become well liked and whatnot. And that I'm sure there are a lot of people in the Forgotten Heralds who would argue that actually might like help you guys accomplish what you want to accomplish, right? And that's ultimately yeah, exactly. You could use the One Ring. Honestly, that is one of the main themes of this whole campaign. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Do we use the One Ring or do we destroy it? But yeah, I mean, it just depends on how much you're willing to compromise, right? Like, you could definitely do that. But I'm sure there are other heralds who would consider that a major compromise, right? Because you're supposed to destroy the Tanner and not join them. And there'll be other people who'll be like, no, we're not joining them. We're using them. Like, they're contained.
Okay, but if Harahel already knows, well, I guess this is not specific to Harahel, but like, I guess the answer to that question doesn't really help me if I know that they're gonna want to go in the direction of destroying them.
Yeah, basically, I think the answer to your question is, you can't really use Iseret's fame without compromising.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the answer to the question. And then you want to add someplace safe on the map?
Yeah.
Where do you want to add that, and what is it?
I don't know.
I mean, okay, so one possible option, the first thing that comes to my mind, Carl's, is you have the bridge to the Heavenly City, severed beyond repair. What if, because the reason it probably wasn't safe before is maybe it was crawling with Tannerin. We could say that during the course of this, maybe Harahel and Iseret took a visit over to the ship or something, or maybe they will do this. I don't know. It's one possible option is to just say to designate the bridge to the Heavenly City, severed beyond repair, as a safe place. Safe.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Actually, I have an idea because I had an intention to use that as like a way to get engineering. So what if I make a roll to seize by force to get engineering from that location, and then that means it's clear.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through and fireballed everybody.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. Yeah, let's go.
I mean, that assumes that I do anywhere decently on the roll, which I won't, but it's a good idea.
Let's do the roll and see how that works out. Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Okay. Aim by force. I'm supposed to technically be good at this. You direct your family to seize or maintain control of a resource. Roll plus grasp. What happens? There's not without a cost. Okay. Roll plus grasp, which is 1. I mean,
well, better than
it's
nothing.
as low as I could possibly get and succeed, but it works. Okay.
On a 7 to 9, you choose 2 of the choices below.
Tie one of your surpluses to the resource. If you lose the resource, you lose the surplus, and vice versa. I'm not going to do that because the whole point of this was to clear it out. There's a cost. You get a need. I'm definitely not going to do that. You hurt somebody. GM will say who, and they take 2 treaty on you. Well, everyone already has 1 million treaty on me, so that sucks. But it makes the most sense.
You have to choose 2 of these. So.
Oh, 2. Oh,
yeah, because it's 7 to 9.
Okay.
So you hurt somebody, the GM will say who, and they take 2 treaty on you.
Right, and then
I mean, it probably would be the Forgotten Heralds, right? Or maybe it would be the New Harmony, because there are 2 options here, right? It could be you fireballed the Tannerin, and now the New Harmony's mad at you, right? Or it's or the Recollection could be mad at you too at this point.
That's true.
Or you hurt the Forgotten Heralds because you destroyed part of their spaceship. And now it's like
I think that
they
makes
lost
sense.
some of their stuff.
Yeah,
right?
Especially because they're about to go there to live, and now it's like, where's all of the hull plating?
So
that sentence went in a direction, and then you immediately changed gears.
So you get 2 treaty on the Perihelions, Carls.
And then.
Because you end up showing up at the bridge to the Heavenly City, and a bunch of your stuff is lost.
Yeah, although like
It's still a safe place.
Highest technological pieces are gone, but it's not like it's still defensible.
Yeah, I mean, it's your space. Basically, your spaceship is even less flyable than it was before.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I guess I'll take another need because I don't want to have. It defeats the purpose to lose the.
So what? Yeah, what is that first one? You need to commit to securing it. It's tie one of your surpluses to the resource. If you lose the resource, you lose the surplus, and vice versa. So basically, you would just tie it to another one of your surpluses.
Oh.
Right. So your rare materials would be dependent upon engineering and vice versa.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to do that because I want my rare materials. So I'm gonna do the other one. I'll take another need, even though it sucks.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What need would you get from this particular?
Real quick. I'm just gonna have to go real quick.
Okay, do you want to just leave the computer there and I'll take care of it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like leave the camera.
Just so that, yeah,
Is it
just
a
so
mess
the
with the
overlay's
overlay?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Let's
Have a good
see.
one.
I don't know what. I'm trying to think of a good.
I don't know what the options are, so.
I'll start reading them off. Artisans, barter goods, crops, defenses, energy, engineering, fresh water, justice, land, leadership, luxury, medicine, morale, prestige, progress, rare materials, recruits, safety. Yeah.
Ooh. I want to, if you're cool with it, I want to do medicine. I think that the tech we steal does weird stuff. Because the whole point is that it's supposed to be our answer to fixing our technology. But I think maybe when we're just ripping it out of the ship, it messes with the people we sent to do it.
Yeah,
and so they need some kind of.
Yeah,
so they need some kind of, probably a semi-technological, but still a medicine to like stabilize the bits of their body that are freaking out.
Yeah, and so actually we've now hit one of the other story moves now, because you have 4 needs. So when when you get that's not how it works. It's when you haven't actually hit this yet. Then, it's when if your mood would hit -4. That's why.
Okay, so I need to lose my resources before it happened.
Yeah,
because I'm at -3. Okay.
Yeah, you're at -3 now. So. Except no, you're at -2 right now because you're gonna get this new
right,
surplus.
Yeah. Or rather, I'll lose engineering as a need, which is what I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
I want to stabilize Azimuth, or whatever they called it.
Azimuth?
Yeah, Azimuth, thanks. I wanted to stabilize the tech there.
Yeah, so you still have medicine, which means, as a need, you still have, so that means you're very weak to illness. Maybe there's particular, so on and so forth. Right. Immune systems, maybe your lifestyle leads to regular injury. But you need, basically, it's like you need more medicine than you have because people are getting sick.
Yeah, right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but that clears out the bridge to the Heavenly City, severed beyond repair. So now it is a safe place. Carly, what is the name of this spaceship?
You should name all of your spaceships after hymns.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Hold on.
Or some variation of that, right?
Yeah.
A sci-fi hymn.
Yeah.
Obscure hymns.
Like instead of 10,000 reasons, you have 10 million reasons. No, I'm just kidding.
We came up with a few more reasons.
10,000 reasons isn't a hymn either.
I mean, that's true. That's why it was a joke. Yeah. But yeah, they had a long time to.
Let's call this spaceship my vision.
Yes.
Nice.
That's awesome. Awesome. The SS, my vision.
The SS.
No. Yeah, my vision.
Cool. For a spiritual song.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, so my vision is now a safe place. So before, right, like the heralds were just kind of wherever and anywhere, and didn't really have anywhere that they could be. They're still dispersed, if you want them to be. But they have a place they can actually go to be safe from the Tannerin attacking them and stuff, right?
Especially because they basically just teleport around, so it's not like really that bad if they're far away.
Yeah. So you can erase the need for safety. Bye-bye. Awesome. Now your mood is +0. So you have equal, surpluses, and needs. Awesome. Well, that was really cool. There's a lot of really cool threads now to pull.
Yeah.
When we come back to this.
I think the trick now is going to be like filling these threads out as opposed to making new ones every round.
Yeah, and
Because,
I think that will come from not like I like that we got to do a whole bunch of different family moves this time because it gave us a feel for how all that works now.
Yeah.
But we probably wouldn't spend this much time doing just family move after family move. One of these we would have zoomed in on, but we already did like half the session as a zoomed in scene. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Yep. So when we pick this up, we'll pick up one of those threads and zoom in and do something cool.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, that was the Hellbreaker sequence. I love this campaign. I'm really, really enjoying this so far and all of the cool stuff we're making up. I love Cassius. I love Barus. I love all these characters. And yep. So again, if you guys ever want to do a mini session, do something cool, hit me up and we'll figure something out. And I'll probably do a session of the Hellbreakers are doing some stuff. And I think the way I'm going to do it, just because the only way this will not be really confusing is just to label every time we do a session as a new episode. So no matter whether or not it's a solo thing or that makes sense. A main session, all of them will be episode numbered as per usual. So awesome. Cool. Yeah, it feels weird just ending because like usually in a role-playing game that we do, there's like some sort of like end like, things we do like goals or beliefs or whatever, but there's nothing like that for this. So
we kind of did it in a roundabout rambling, none of us are quite sure what we're doing yet kind of way.
with the family moves. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, I liked the way that we got to kind of flesh that out and see how the family moves work. And good stuff. All right. This has been the Hellbreaker sequence. We're out. Adios.
Bye.